the new background. Like, where are you sitting? This is not the usual office view I see of you, Lisanne.
I know. So I actually moved a couple weeks ago, and this is my parents' office, and so this is
Wait,
this is
cool.
all the all the parental things.
I I love it because you look like you look smart because you have books and binders behind you, which I know you're
Right.
smart.
I know. I feel like I should be like an attorney right now or something.
Yeah, it's very retro smart though. You're like 1970s or 80s
Right. Yeah,
smart.
I've got like where is it? Manila folders. Like who even uses which way? Who even uses these things anymore?
Yeah. I love that. Well, Lisanne, we have you here today, and like truly thankful for you investing in our community because a lot has changed in Facebook world. Let's see, since 8 this morning. Oh, and since yesterday, and oh yeah, since last week. So this is constantly a thing for anybody who's doing marketing on any platform. We all know Facebook's the 900-pound gorilla. Is it 800-pound or 900-pound, Lisanne? I never can remember that.
At least 1,000.
Okay, we're gonna say the 1,200-pound gorilla. That's Facebook. They like dwarfing the gorillas. So Facebook ads are one thing. The algorithm, the changes for iOS and how our devices, which most of us are using our devices to find our content and not our laptops, the devices are impacting our experience as marketers on these platforms. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out, first of all, to talk about all that. But where are you right now? What city are you in? And how are you?
I love it. Well, Chris, thank you again so much for having me. I seriously, anytime I get to be with you and your community, I just get like giggly inside. Like I'm like a little puppy. Like I have to make sure I go to the bathroom before we go live because it's like I just get really excited. But I'm in Orem, Utah right now, and I moved out of my place just a couple weeks ago. My parents live up the street, and so I'm actually going to be buying a house soon, and so they're kind of like home base until I buy a house. So that's kind of like the latest and the greatest there. So we're just serving clients in my parents' little back office in their cute little house. So that's just a little bit of the latest and greatest with me.
Okay, so I am going to just break the rules here for a second. I'm going to share my screen here, which is going to show a multiple of our screens. This will be really trippy, Lisanne, because there we are, like in pyramid form. Look at that. You wave your hand, it keeps going. Y'all check out this. This is Orem, Utah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Yeah. And those mountains, that third picture of the snowy mountains, that's serious. That's my view from like December to April every year. It's seriously so pretty.
Whoa. And so you're buying a house in that community or where?
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually like right now I'm staying in a house that's really close to that. Yep. And that's a canyon that I hike all the time.
Oh my gosh.
That canyon. You got to come visit.
What the heck? That's
no, that's a main street. That's like Center Street in Orem. I drive down that street all the time. It's like seriously such a pretty place.
I'm so jealous. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen. Although I do love the trippy effect here. I really do. Okay, okay, let's talk Facebook ads. Let's talk Facebook algorithm. Let's talk iOS stuff. Like, crack the code. By the way, I'm going to date stamp this conversation, which we hardly ever do, but I think it's truly important.
Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah, it's September 7th, 10:08 a.m., 2021. All right, folks. So you never know what could be changed on September 8th. But as of this moment, this is the current best practices for traffic, organic, paid, just dealing with Facebook and why it's still the most profitable place to market. So, Lisanne, like, lead us down this scary path.
Okay, I'm super excited to be here, and really I'm really glad that you date stamped it because it's crazy relevant. Like I even just yesterday spent an hour on the phone with one of my Facebook reps and getting the latest. I was like, okay, you're working with people that are spending so much money on Facebook. Like, what are people doing on Facebook in order to get around some of the issues that are happening? Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about that in depth today. So I have detailed exactly what the Facebook rep said people are doing and trying and that is working literally just yesterday. So
on the 6th of September.
Yes.
24 hours ago. So it's probably really old news by now, but
yeah, I know, right? I know we should have done this yesterday afternoon. Too bad it was Labor Day.
You have your rep
but I'm I'm just really excited to just deliver this value to you guys and help keep you up to date with what's going on, because Facebook is such a valuable piece of all of our businesses, especially I know with Chris, your whole community really is based on direct outreach with Facebook and managing Facebook groups with your mastermind. And so it's this is really important information. So I'm excited. All right. Should we hop on in? Let me get my presentation up. And then, okay, it is up. So you can share your screen and tell me if it's showing correctly.
Oh yeah, looking good. Love it. And by the way, Lisanne, you have an access to a Facebook rep. That's a big deal. For those of you who don't have access to a Facebook rep, you got to spend some money. And so Lisanne, thanks for sharing the inside scoop from a bigger budget standpoint.
Of course. Yeah. So I'm just really stoked to dive into this, because a lot of people with what's going on with Facebook with the iOS update, a lot of people are really nervous. And I think a lot of it is because the platform is being affected, but there's so many gurus out there that are like hyping on the fear, like they're taking the opportunity to get into people's faces and scare people. And so I really want to just be, yes, I'm a Facebook advertiser, but I want to be just set the facts straight and as clear as possible. So
thank you.
For the next 25-ish minutes, I'm going to be talking about why Facebook is the most profitable advertising platform still. Okay.
By the way, we do live Q&A, so if people have questions, can they jump in and ask you as you go?
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
Right,
You just
stop me at any point. About, fire away. Yeah.
I love it. So first of all, if you're like, what the heck are Chris and Lisanne talking about? Let me tell you what's going on. So normally when you engage with a social media platform, your device is automatically set to track your behavior online, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Apple has recently come up with an update where they're like, we're going to automatically opt people out, and they're going to have to choose to opt in. And that is the opposite of what it used to be. And so where you used to be automatically opted in, if you have an Apple device, now you have to choose to opt in to have your behavior tracked. Now, Apple, when they came out with this, they said, we are seeing everything that's going on with our privacy being jacked up, and we want to give people the ability to protect their privacy. But what's interesting is that 6 months before they had that announcement, they also announced that they were going to create their own ad platform. And I don't know where that's going to be administered, maybe like in the App Store or something like that. But what a lot of experts are saying is that Apple sees this tech giant in Facebook, and that they are driving so much revenue through the game of attention. And Apple wants a piece, okay? They don't want to just be in the hardware and software business. They also want to jump into the attention business because there is so much money there. Now, let's talk about what's happening on the platform because of this change. Now, 50% of Facebook users are Apple users, and an estimation, this is estimated, but there's estimated 85% of Apple users have installed the iOS 14 update. Of that, then they actually, again, this is estimated as well, but 90% of Apple users have opted out. This is higher than what I thought it would be, because Pew Research Center did a study 4 or 5 years ago, and most people, when given the choice to have their behavior tracked, they actually opted in. And so I think a lot of the press is affecting people feeling like they need to protect their privacy. Mm-hmm. So they're opting out. So if you take all these percentages and you break it down, that means that 38% of users are affected but like they're choosing to opt out because of this update. Now, of 1.7 billion active users, I know I'm throwing a lot of money out there, but this is really the crux of it. Facebook is losing the behavioral data of what people are doing on websites after they leave Facebook and go to a website or a funnel for 646 million people. That's a lot of people where they are losing data, and it really is causing some issues for the platform.
So let me ask a question, just so I can get this down to layman's terms, because guys, I am not a Facebook expert here. That means that the pixel that we're placing on our platforms, the Facebook pixel we're placing on our platforms, is not able to learn from all those users.
That's correct. So,
oh wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So once they leave the platform of Facebook, it's like they're flying blind. So like Facebook still has control of all their own data, right? In terms of like what pages people are following, what posts people are clicking on, how they're interacting, what they're clicking on links. But after that link click, it's like it vanishes.
Wow. Okay.
So Facebook sees this as a big issue, and so they're trying to do a lot of things to fix it. So this is Facebook's early attempts to circumvent what's going on. The biggest issue is the difference between first-party cookies and third-party cookies. Now, Let me break this down for you. The Facebook Pixel is what's called a third-party cookie, meaning it's a piece of code that's installed on the website, and the code communicates to the servers. It's like the communicates with Facebook, communicates with the website, and sends data back and forth. But it's just with a piece of code. Whereas a first-party cookie is where you have like a direct connection. They call it an API connection, where you are directly hooking up your website to another entity to get direct data.
Okay.
Facebook is trying to get, and that's why if you run ads, you're having to verify your domains, prioritize your events, is because Facebook is trying to get as many people to have first-party cookies as possible in order to kind of get around this update that's causing it so third-party cookies can't be tracked. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The issue, though, is that pixels, they work with code on each page of the website to delineate certain actions. And so while we're connecting the domains and getting the main website hooked up, all the individual behaviors going on in the website, they're still having a difficult time tracking that behavior.
Got it.
So
for instance, I can tell if I was going to lisannmurphy.com, you'd be able to track that I landed on your main.com, but all the sub pages, you wouldn't know if I went to the thank you page, if I clicked the buy now button, if I entered the, learn more screen, whatever I followed my way through, you wouldn't see all my actions.
Now you would on the website side, but that data is not making it back to Facebook.
So it's not informing the ad purchasing decision and placement of which audience is best and all the things that's so great.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's making Facebook's life kind of a living hell right now. Like it's just they're having a hard time. They're also doing different things. They're trying to figure out different attribution methodologies. And really, they're just feverishly trying different things. And they're actually making shifts to the algorithm that are causing just as many, if not more, issues as the actual iOS update themselves, as they are trying to learn how what the new marketplace is going to be like. Okay. But despite all this, I think it's really important to recognize that Facebook is still a profitable platform and we should still be advertising on there. And this is why. There's 3 reasons that I feel why we should keep advertising on Facebook. The first is that users are still clicking and buying. Just because the algorithm shifts does not mean that the buyers have disappeared. It just means that there is some data that we don't understand and that it has disappeared. So there's third-party softwares that can help with this. I'm playing with one called Hyros right now. I know that Jody, who's another Facebook advertiser, she uses it with some of her clients, and it's been helpful to get more direct attribution. So I can see how like different companies are going to help Facebook, right, and try to create solutions to be able to find this data. The other thing is that purchasing online is increasing and continuing to do so. There was a 32% of increase in online sales in 2020 alone, and just in the Q1 of 2021, there was a 39% increase. Okay, this is largely due to the pandemic, right? It's forcing people online. And with all of this increased online traffic, Facebook is still the most active social media platform on the planet, has the most active daily users. So the people are there and they are buying and they are clicking. And so we shouldn't just ignore that just because Apple has made this change, that we're thinking, oh, it doesn't work anymore. Like people aren't buying. Like they're there, they're clicking, they're buying somehow online. And Facebook is still a powerful, powerful place where purchasing is happening. I mean, I still have an entire book of business in my agency of ads that are still working and are profitable, right? So it's just important for us to not just get scared and go away from something that is still around, is still working. And lastly, Facebook is motivated to find a way. My Facebook rep told me that 85% of Facebook's revenue comes from advertising. Okay. That is ginormous. Okay. So in the length of time that I've been doing ads for just over 4 years. There have been 2 other big shifts with the algorithm. And both times, like all of the advertisers were just like, oh my gosh, like everything is going wrong. My ads aren't working anymore. Eventually, Facebook figures it out. Then the advertisers figure it out. Things settle down and it goes back to normal. Facebook is not going away. The attention market is not going away. And behavioral data is not going away. And so I'm confident that Facebook is highly motivated to find solutions that are effective for advertisers because it's how they make their money.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really important to remember that.
That's a great point. Yeah.
So let's get to what really is like the juicy stuff. If you're running ads, this will make sense to you. If you're not running ads yet, this is going to be a little bit of mumbo jumbo for you,
Sure.
but like
Let me
this is
just,
one of those like screenshot and save it for later.
yeah, screenshot all you want here, folks. Let me just pause right there and say, I love the approach you have, just like the mindset you have, technology or social platform, Facebook or not. There's so many things that scare us when we watch the headlines, but that's what headlines are designed for, folks. That's a good, well-written ad, by the way. If you read this iOS update crashes Facebook, get off, they made you click. That was the point, right? Which kind of means it works. You probably saw that on Facebook. But the bottom line is staying balanced, like Lisanne is telling us. I love that. Like, you're stepping back, you're saying, no, yeah, things shift. Welcome to planet Earth. But we're still a bunch of humans who are building more and more of our life patterns around technology. And this platform is not about to go away. 10 years from now, maybe, who knows? But in the next year, your business plan has to include this.
Yep.
So
It's
figure
so
it
cool.
out and use it, right? Figure it out. That's entrepreneurship, right? That's why we're all here. That's why we're good at what we do, folks. You're an expert in what you do, not just you listening, but everybody watching. Not because you get scared and run into a corner. You get paid for what you do because you crack the code and teach somebody else how to do it. So well done, Lisanne, and well done, all of you.
Amen. Amen. I totally agree. And I think it's also important, I think we often look at the big tech companies like they're all against us when like it's in their best interest to make things work for us. It's what keeps us coming back and paying them again and again. So anyway, all right. So this is direct from my Facebook rep. It's actually from 2 different reps. I've talked to them in the last week, and these are a few strategies that they've shared. And I've started using them with my clients and have had positive results. So this is what's currently being done to kind of work around what's going on with the iOS. And I think these are very, very clever. Okay. First is to start mainly driving traffic to lookalike audiences based off of lists. Okay. Now, you always make a lookalike audience off of what they call a custom audience. A lookalike audience is like taking, let's say you have a list of 5 people and it's saying, I want people that are like these 5 people, but not these 5 people. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like saying man, I need some new friends like Chris Williams. I already have Chris Williams as a friend, but I need someone like him. So I can't find him again, right? Who's someone else that's like him? I know it's hard to do. Chris, you're kind of one of a kind.
It's so hard to do. I mean, I'm a one of a kind.
But we always try. So the reason why driving traffic to a lookalike list is no matter what's going on with how Facebook is tracking people's behaviors or not, that if someone's on your list, that's a real person who has already raised their hand that they're interested in your stuff. And so lookalikes off of lists give you a lot more accurate people finding capability for Facebook than saying, Facebook, I want you to find these people based off of what other websites that they've been clicking on or something like that.
Yeah, because they've resonated not just with an idea or a concept, but actually with me as the voice leader of that idea or concept.
Exactly. And that's truthfully always been true. This is not a new thing. I love doing lookalikes off of lists. Whenever I bring on a new client, I always ask if they have a list and how big it is, because the bigger their list is, the better their ads are going to do out of the gate. Okay. So that's not new, but I think it's just really important to remember that we can control a lot of what Facebook is doing by giving them our data. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Second thing is to drive traffic to Android only. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you're setting up a campaign, you can set up whether it goes to mobile or desktop. You can even set up whether it goes to Android devices or iOS devices. Now, by cutting out the iOS devices altogether, now remember we said that 38% of users are being affected. So that leaves you 62% that are not. Well, 62%, that's 0.8 billion people. Your customers are still going to be in there. So just cut out Apple while Facebook is figuring all their junk out and just go to the Android, because they've also found that 50% of purchasers are Android as well. So your ads are going to work. You're just cutting out the mess that is still trying to be understood and figured out.
Good to know.
The third thing is, because Facebook still tracks all of their data on their platform, if you run a traffic campaign and optimize it for link clicks, so you're I want people that are interested in these things, and I want them to not just look at the post, but actually click the link, you're capturing that audience. And then if you retarget the people that link clicked to then go to your website, you're essentially saying, Facebook, I want you to base an audience off of everything you do have control over. instead of trying to base an audience off of things that you don't have control over, which is different actions in the website.
Excellent
So
points.
again, that's having a traffic-based campaign and then retargeting those people to then go deep into your website and purchase something or fill out an application or whatever your ad focus is.
I love how
So
you're
again,
controlling the controllables there. I mean, some things you just can't control. That's for the Facebook and iOS gods to decide, but you're dealing with the stuff you can deal with.
exactly. And that's really what the game is like, what do we know that's certain and how do we leverage that to our benefit, and not just for our benefit as advertisers, but for the benefit of the people that need our products and services, right? Like it is an opportunity whenever you put something in front of someone like, hey, I really think this can help you. It's for their benefit as well. And so I think that these are smart strategies. So regardless what's going on with the algorithm, there are 4 ways to win with ads. Now, will be true all the time, no matter whatever's going on with the algorithm, we can control how effective ads are, right? I will often get people that are like, man, ads just don't work for me. And I'm telling you, ads work. Facebook is the most powerful platform when it comes to getting in front of the right people. So if things aren't working, there's something going on in your system that's not working, and making sure that it's set up in a way where ads can work for you. And these are 4 things that can win with ads. And what I love about these is they also help you win with organic. Okay. So this one is a little bit more Facebooky. The other 3 are a lot more organic fit, but this one still applies. So the first way to win with ads is to set up your campaigns correctly. Okay. There's a few keys here. One is with the campaign objective. It's really important that you tell Facebook what you want. I literally talk to people on a weekly basis that are like, man, I've spent like $300 or $400 on ads, and like I have like 3-second clicks or like 10-second video views, and like no one's purchasing. My first question always is, what objective did you set up your campaign with? Literally 9 times out of 10, they say traffic or engagement or reach. And I say, what do you want to have happen? I want people to sign up for my lead form. I want people to buy my course. I want people to fill out an application. I say, well, you're going after the wrong objective. Like if you want buyers, then tell Facebook you want buyers, not that you want traffic. Does that make sense? And so oftentimes we shoot ourselves in the foot just because we're not setting up our campaigns appropriately.
Makes tons of sense.
The next thing is to realize that you're going to be sending ads from your page, not from your profile. You also need to remember to run ads out of a business ad account, not a personal ad account. It's like I like to think about it like finances. It's like you don't run your business out of your personal bank account. You run your business out of a business bank account. And there's lots of legal reasons for that. There's lots of data reasons for that. Facebook is no different. Like make sure you set up your like Facebook LLC and run all of your ads out of that and not out of your personal assets.
Yes.
It'll stop from, it'll limit shutdowns. It'll also increase your ability to gather more data. It's just an important good practice. And the last thing is to make sure your pixel is installed properly on your website. If you're not telling your pixel to get the right data, then it can't get the right data. So it's super, super important.
Hi, Charlene. And what's up, Brooke? Good to see y'all. Yes. Okay, so go back over that last point one more time. The pixel, make sure it's installed on your site properly. Even though we can't get all the pixel stuff in one spot, even though we can't necessarily track everything through with the iOS update in particular, still have it there.
Yeah, well, and we still track all the Android users. We still can track all the desktop users, right? And so it's really important to have the pixel there to get as much data as we can still.
Yeah, excellent.
A lot of people will put their pixel on their site, but they'll just be tracking a page view on every page. And it's really important to take the next step and install what they call standard events, which are really what separate the individual behaviors on each page on your site.
Excellent. Whew, there's a lot there.
I know, there's so much. Okay, so the second thing with your ads is to make sure that you have dialed in audiences. Now, I was talking to a good friend just a couple weeks ago, and he was saying, okay, I've come up with this framework that's absolutely changed my life. I'm making more money in my business. I'm more productive every day. I've lost a ton of weight. My marriage has never been better. My kids actually like me again. He's like, this is so important. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, for ads to do well, like who are you going to be targeting? And he's like, well, this framework, it really is like, it's based on like universal principles. Like it's for everybody. And I'm like, okay, maybe true, but ads don't work that way. Like the ads work by saying, I want to go after this gender, this marital status, this occupation, this guru that they follow, this hobby that they engage in. That's when ads do the best, is when you have your dialed in audience. So if you're in a place where you're like, man, my stuff is so good, like it can be applied to anyone. I can run ads for anyone. I can do bookkeeping for anyone. I could build a website for anyone. While that might be true, if you're going to run ads and the ads are going to be effective, you have to niche down and choose what audience you're going to go after. Okay.
So true. Yeah.
Super, super important. So I have listed there like the different types of audiences that people work with. If you have lists, those are powerful to work with for warm traffic as well as lookalike traffic. If you're going to be doing interest-based, these are the 4 categories that I like to look at. Think about demographics, what industry they're working in, what gurus they're following, and what hobbies they engage in. Those are some of the most powerful ways to find someone. Another quick example, I'm working for a female supplement company. Their main supplement right now is it helps with hormone imbalance. Now, if you type hormone imbalance in the interests, it's not going to be there. So when I first started running ads, I was doing things like, okay, what are other, like what are feminine products? Like,
yeah. I'm still with you, Lisanne. Can you hear me? Lisanne's frozen, folks. Oh, no.
All right.
There she is. Okay. Lisanne, you said feminine products, and then we lost you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My internet might be spotty. Am I back?
There you go. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. So like I started targeting feminine products like Playtex, Always, Tampax, and the ads just didn't do that well. And then I was like, okay, well, all right. So people that have periods probably don't follow these brands, right? Like I don't, and I have a period. And
you don't want your friends looking through all the brands you follow and being like, really? You know, I was thinking more sports team in your favorite restaurant. Come on. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, what type of person would be irritated by like having a really tough menstrual cycle? And so I was like, you know, people that are probably into athletics or sports. So I started picking like people that are interested into hiking, yoga, fitness classes, doing races like marathons or Ragnars. And all of a sudden the effectiveness of the ads shot through the roof.
Brilliant.
And so it's really important to think about, again, like who are you sending these ads to, right? The dialed in audience matters and makes a big difference.
Let me just jump on that point real quick, because people, all of us, me included, struggle with niching down more and more and more. But it is so powerful. We have to overcome our fear there, because once you know who you're working with, you know what they want to do, who they talk to, how they think. Lisanne, great example. Just you get to know the person, and the person is who Facebook or any other platform is targeting, not the world.
It's so true.
People cringe at this. We're like, well, I want to be more accepting to other people that are or aren't like me in a myriad of ways. And that is the best thing ever. But when it comes to the ads that we see, when I see an ad or you, Lisanne, see an ad, we don't respond personally to the ads that are for everyone. We respond to the ads that are written for me. They either make me feel like I love that or I hate that. It triggers something, and you got to know your person. You really do.
It's so true.
So quick question here. Charlene says, smart. Yes. Who are you sending ads to? What are they looking up? Where are they spending time? Yes, exactly. Charlene, well summarized. Absolutely.
Yeah. So good. So good. I'm really glad that point came across. Okay. Number 3 is to make sure you have a crunchy message. Now, I love that term crunchy. Crunchy, when you think of crunchy, it's very tactile, right? Like imagine like crunching on a potato chip, and like you feel it. You feel like every fragment of the chip hitting your mouth, and then like that salt and fat exploding. Like it's a very like tactile experience. You want your messaging to be crunchy. Okay. Yeah. There's 3 things that I've found that create a crunchy message. One is to clearly define the problem. Okay. And the pain. Going after the pain as well creates bonus points. So like, what is the pain and problem you're going after to help people solve? And then outline your parameters. What is this and what is it not? Who is this for? Who is it not for? And then last is to specify the results. What are you trying to do for them? What is why would they pay attention to you in the first place? A great ad has all of these, a crunchy message has all of these 3 things. Now, this is true for good copy, period, but it also is really important for the ad to be accepted by all of the Facebook policies. The more explicit you are in what you're trying to do for the person in the ad, the less likely it is to be shut down. Ads get rejected when Facebook's like, you're not really telling the whole story here, and you need to be more explicit. If we're going to let people exit our platform and go to yours, you've got to be transparent with what you're actually doing with them and for them.
Interesting.
So these are powerful, powerful elements of good ad copy.
Oh, it's really, really good. Can I go back to that just to see real quick? Okay, clearly define the problem and pain point. I love this. The authenticity and the branding is so critical. I love that. Being transparent. Outline parameters. Yeah, what is it? What is it not? And specify results. Love that. Really great info.
Yeah. So, and this is also very, very true with organic, right?
Yeah.
Powerful with organic as well as with paid traffic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by the way, folks, if you have too many people on your sales calendars, for instance, that just aren't the right buyers, that list right there also helps get that taken care of. You don't want just everybody showing up on your calendar, not just hang out and talk. Like, you want to help somebody solve a problem. So be clear about, here's what I solve and here's what I don't. Like, let's not waste his time. Excellent.
I love it. I love it. Okay. And then the fourth thing is make sure your landing page is optimized. Now, there's two things that are really important here that are the biggest factors that help that cause people to bounce from what you have to offer. One is loading speed, and two is making sure it's mobile designed. Now, loading speed. I have a brand that I work with right now where out of the link clicks, only 52% actually wait for the landing page to load. Now, that's garbage. I'm just going to tell you straight up. That's terrible. And it's something for like weeks. I'm like, guys, like they keep coming to me and they're like, man, our ads are just not as effective. And I'm like, the ads are fine. Like, make your landing page load faster. Like, I swear to you, even if you increase the speed of which the landing page loads by 25%, your cost per acquisition will literally be cut in half. Like, wow. It's just so important that when people click on that link, that website loads immediately. Now, this is a really important thing. I don't know about you, Chris, but like if I click on a link on desktop and it takes a second to load, I'm okay with it. I'll go jump on another link. I'll go check an email or whatever, and then I'll come back and see if it's loaded. But if I'm on my phone and I click on a link and a page doesn't load in like half a second, I'm gone.
Absolutely. Same.
Like, it's just a totally different behavioral psychology thing. Like, and this is why it's so important. 95% of Facebook traffic is mobile.
Wow.
So if your landing page is loading at a snail's pace, then you are literally just flushing money down the drain. Everyone that clicks on the link is raising their hand saying, I want to see your stuff. And if your landing page like requires a dial-up connection to load, and it's like doing the AOL, like, like people are going to go somewhere else. Okay.
Big, beautiful images, big videos that are forced to play when the screen, just motions that come in and out. It's super fancy and beautiful, but come on, folks. One thing there, Lisanne, we've started in our agency, the Done For You side. We're now reviewing websites. So my team and their extended teams build websites or whatever for our market. And instead of me or Kimberly or Lucy getting to review the website, we're now, like, when the designer shares screen, we start the conversation with mobile. Like, I don't want to see how beautiful the website is. Give me the mobile view and show me the website. Because if the desktop looks beautiful, fine, yay. But it's all about the mobile, because you're right, 95% is going to happen through that thumb-driven device.
It's so true. And that really goes into the next point perfectly, Chris, is that, so whenever I build a funnel now or a website, I tell my designer, I say, I want you to design this for mobile and then optimize it for desktop. And unless it's like a true, like, authority website where, like, it's just like, all your junk is on like one page and it's not necessarily meant to like drive conversions.
Yeah.
But the standard in the industry is to design it for desktop and then have it be mobile optimized. And usually the mobile optimization is just that the software makes it responsive. Let me just tell you, the responsive feature is not 100% accurate, especially on the first view. The headline normally is too big. There's an image that's taking up way too much of the screen. The call to action button is nowhere to be found. And if people are clicking from an ad and they go to your website and all they see is like 3.5 words because the headline is like font 89, like, they're going to be like, what is this? Like, this is not what I thought it was. And these guys are actually not professional. And so it's so important that you really, really pay attention to your mobile. Again, this is true for organic and with ads. So much traffic is on mobile. And so if your website is not mobile friendly, and I shouldn't even say mobile friendly, but mobile designed, then you are losing money, period. Like,
yeah.
You are losing money. And I love that you're doing that in your agency. That's super powerful.
Everybody, I'll hear that again. If you are not focusing on the mobile experience, and we always talk about what's above or below the fold, right? On a real website, meaning before you have to scroll. If you're not focusing on when somebody clicks your ad or clicks your website on what shows up on this screen before you scroll, if everything they need to do to know who you are, know who they are, and take an action, meaning here's what I do, I help people like you, call them out, and here's how you take action. If that's all not on that first screen without scrolling, you're freaking losing money. Get it on there.
Yep, it's so true.
Professionals like Lisanne bring the right people to your website, but who freaking cares if the right person shows up and has no idea what to do?
It's so true. So true. So again, to review these, set up your campaign correctly, have a dialed in audience, make sure you have a crunchy message, and make sure that your landing page is optimized. No matter what's going on with the algorithm, guys, and whether you're running paid or organic, these things will increase your conversion, increase the amount of money that you're making. They are just powerful, powerful tools to help you win the game of conversion-based marketing, essentially.
Brilliant.
So, and Chris, if it's okay with you, I recently wrote an ebook on how to optimize a landing page so that is your stuff. And I wanted to give it to you guys, give it to your audience. So,
oh my gosh, yeah.
I just wrote this ebook, and it's the top 10 landing page pitfalls that 2 to 3x ad costs unnecessarily. And I go in depth right now. We're actually getting it. We're just getting it finished designed. I submitted the final edits to our designer. It's like going to be like 30 pages. Like, it's like huge. It goes into depth in terms of like how to optimize for like how the desktop view values white space and open areas so the eyes know how to scroll the page, whereas mobile view, if you have white space, people will lose interest, and how to make sure that your website, it loads fast, and like what websites I use to see how fast your website's loading. I have it all in there. It's seriously so awesome. So I wanted to
how do I grab that and pass it on the community?
Yeah, so
link or something
Valerie,
I can drop?
who helped set this up, we're just gonna send you the PDF, and you can drop it in your community.
You have it downloadable on one of your sites or something like that? I'd love for folks to get to know you better anyway.
Yeah, no, that's good. We'll put that together. We're just finishing getting it designed, so I'll get that to you, and I'll do it on a page so that people can see me and stuff.
That's so great. And by the way, okay, here's a great example of this. So whenever Lisanne finishes this up, and we'll drop the link, we'll put the link in these conversations. Don't just go grab the PDF, but like go to her landing page. And I don't know, Lisanne, if you ask for an email address or not, hopefully yes, because I want everybody who goes and gets that thing to not just go and get the thing to be like, oh, now I know how to set up my page, but look how Lisanne set up her page. Like, use Lisanne's landing page and how you enter your email address and the whole thing goes through. Like, learn from that process. See how a pro does it. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Use me as an example for sure, because I'm so nitpicky when it comes to especially what happens above the fold. And then Chris, if it's okay with you, I actually this week launched a course to get people going with Facebook ads if they're not necessarily ready for an agency yet. They want to understand the data, or they want to train their traffic person, or whatever it is. I just launched something this week, and I'd love to introduce that.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So, guys, this is something I've been working on for a year. It's seriously, I've been so excited about it. I get dozens of people every week who they see something from me online and they want my help with ads. But what I do with my agency is out of range for them, just because they're usually in a place where they're like, I'm more in the stages of my business. I'm haven't quite hit 6 figures or whatever it is, or like they're just bumping into that range, or they're new with ads and they're not really like the evergreen model with ads. So I've packaged everything that I do with my agency into an A to Z, and I call it a Done With You course, because I've also included group coaching with this. And we're doing a small open cart period. The cart's actually only open for a couple more days. But it is seriously the most comprehensive thing that I've put together. And it's my ability. It's really what I'm trying to do is like put everything that I do daily in my agency and make it more accessible. Like I hate telling people in Messenger, like, I really would like to help you, but like, I just can't right now. Like it's just not, it's not worth the time that I have. But like my heart bleeds for them because I'm like, I know that ads, you could get started with ads and the ads could work. So just an up like a highlights of some of the things in here. I go through from the beginning, how to set up your ad account page in Pixel properly, how to create compelling ad copy, how to set up that campaign properly, which remember, those were 3 of the 4 things that I talked about in those things help ads win. Cold retargeting campaigns, really how to make sure your audience is dialed in correctly and how to understand your dream customer in a way that'll work for ads so you don't feel like you have to go to the world in order to try to capture somebody.
That's brilliant.
Yes, I'm so excited. So, and again, my special bonus, there's 2 special bonuses for this actually, is like first 3 months, I'm doing 3 months of group coaching for free with this to make sure that your ads are getting going the right way and you don't miss anything. That, you know, when the first time you learn something, you just miss things, not because you're not good at it, but you've never done it before. So you just miss some things. So I'm throwing in the group coaching, having special guests. I'm doing behind the scenes case studies on what's going on with my clients and what issues they're seeing and how I'm fixing those. And the first 15 people get $500 off. And I think there's like just a couple more of those slots left since I opened the cart. So super great opportunity there. So again, this is the website. The website, if you're ready for this, it's adverthinkingmastery.com. If this is the right move for you, that PDF, the top 10 pitfalls, is also included in this. I'm going to give it to you guys and get you a link for that for free, but it is included in this. But again, this is for business owners who want to become dangerously good at ads, business owners who want more visibility into what their ads person is doing, right? If you're like, I'm not really sure if my ads person is doing a good job, like this will help you understand that. Or online business owners who want to know how to hire the right ads person, or want to train someone internally in their company. Okay. So I built it very specifically to have to take different angles depending on what your needs are, because not everyone's needs with ads are the same. So, wanted to give you guys this special inside look at this while this cart is open again for a small period of time, because like the group that comes in to work with me, I want to keep it small, so I can like really help them. But yeah, Chris, that is so. Yeah, I want to. If there's anyone else has Q&A, I want to jump into that, Chris. But that is what I have prepared for you today.
That is I just dropped the link down in the chat box as well here, folks. That's a huge give. Thank you, Lisanne, for giving us access to the last few seats and like your PDF download on just how to do it right, how to set up everything right. Like, thank you so much. And just good grief. Rewind, folks. Watch the last 45 minutes. Like, so much here. Lisanne, every time we have you in our group, you like never failed to deliver goodness, kindness, and really great information that's so actionable. Thanks for being that kind of person.
Thank you so much. It's seriously been like such a joy.
So great to have you in here. So folks, by the way, all you guys and girls, I don't do affiliate links for these kind of things. So there's no financial exchange going on here. Lisanne is one of our lead agency rock stars. We have her here in this group. She's been in my masterminds. I've gotten to know her for years, or for over a year now, I guess, Lisanne, just over a year now. And like, she's the real deal. So lean in. I know a lot about marketing, you guys. I have a great team. We don't run our own ads. We ask people to help us do this because it's impossible to do it yourself. And if you do want to try doing it yourself and you got the mind for that, I just don't have the detailed mind for it probably, you got to know what to do because it's changing constantly. So getting into somebody's community like Lisanne's a great example of this. She will show you what to do and you can learn to do it yourself. And she's got lots of ways for you to engage with them. Lisanne, I think, has lost her internet connection. So I'll wrap it up here in just a second. But ultimately, like for real, now that Lisanne's not even watching, this is even more fun. Like for real, folks, she's the real deal. There is no affiliate connection here at all. I pay somebody to do our ads. I don't even have my internal team do it. I have a great staff and we don't even do it. It's great to have somebody else do it. If you don't want to hire somebody to do it and you're bootstrapping it and you want to figure it out on your own, or you just like the idea of it, she shows you how to do it as well. That's so cool. And her PDF is amazing. Lisanne, if you ever do watch the ending of this, sorry your internet bailed on you. You're the best. Thanks so much, Lisanne, for hanging out with us. It's super great to see everybody. You guys ask questions here. I'm going to tag Lisanne in the comments if you have questions on how this works, questions about what she talked about as you go back and rewatch the video. She explained a lot about iOS, how this whole thing works from a Facebook standpoint, and how a lot of the changes that are being made are affecting what's going on in your real marketing world. And even if we're not here when you finally watch this video, because most of you watch it on a replay, ask your questions. Lisanne will be keeping up with this chat feed, and we're here to help. That's why we put this group together. Lisanne, I'm just bragging on you. You're one of our rock stars. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. My internet is like being whiny.
That's what you get for hanging out with the folks.
I know, right?
That's so great. Lisanne, awesome stuff there. Ask your questions here, folks. Keep up. And we're here to help. That's why we're here. If you're going to ask questions about this topic, please put them in this thread so Lisanne can pitch in, because I truly am not the best Facebook ads expert. That is Lisanne's gig. So rock and roll. All right, Lisanne, anything else?
Oh, just thank you so much, guys. I know that, I mean, time is our most valuable resource. The fact that you would spend some time to fill your brain with knowledge and spend some airtime with us, it really just, it means the world. And Chris, I know that that your platform, you don't put anything in front of them unless you know it's going to help them. And so it just means the world that that I could add some value to you guys today.
Love it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for helping us do all this stuff. Okay, I will see you all. Lisanne will see you all soon. Jump in. Grab what's here for you, folks. That's the reason we put this stuff together, is to move us all forward. All ships rise with the same tide. So lean in. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. All right, kids. Talk to y'all soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.